Assalamu alaikum, everyone. My name is Ammar Alanazi. I'm from King Abdulaziz City for Science and Technology. Today, I'll just take you through a quick introduction to what AI is doing to transform the world. What is the potential of AI globally and in the kingdom? And then I'll go through how we can use AI to support the Vision 2030 of Saudi Arabia. So I'll start with some global numbers. I believe you've seen some of these with the CEO of Triscan already, but I'll reiterate here. So according to PwC, the potential impact on the economy market by 2030 of AI would be something around 15.7 billion US dollars. Trillion US dollars. That is coming from, well, AI will help in improving the productivity of factories, improving the productivity of companies, of different organizations, due to its uses in automation and better decision support. So this will potentially improve the quality of the output of organizations and private sector and factories and so on. And this will also lead to higher demand from the consumer, and all that will add up to an increase in the global economy market, which is estimated at 15.7 trillion. Of that 15.7, the highest beneficiary would be China with around 7 trillion estimated, and then North America at 3.7 trillion, and North Europe at 1.8 trillion. But where does Saudi Arabia fit in that picture? So it is estimated that Saudi Arabia will the GDP or AI will add to the to the kingdom's GDP around $135 billion by the year of 2030, and that is only about 0.01% of the global economic output. But is that all, or is that the max that we can get to? This depends on what are the actions that the kingdom is going to take towards implementing more AI projects and using AI in different scenarios. And I believe the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia already started that with the introduction of the AI and Data Authority last week. And so, bottom line here, the impact could be even larger if the government continues to push the boundaries of innovation and implementation of AI across business and sectors. Now I'm going to take you through some of the Vision 2030 goals or targets, or I'm going to go through the goals and how AI can add to these. So I'll start with the first one is we do have one of the, or two of the Vision 2030 goals would be to increase the SME contribution to GDP from 20% to 35%, and to lower the rate of unemployment from 11.6% to 7%. How can AI help in that? Well, basically, AI is currently a major area of investment, and it is one of the areas where a lot of startups are being created every day. At the moment, AI-focused companies and startups raised around, not at the moment, sorry, in 2017, they raised around $12 billion, and it is expected or estimated to reach more than $100 billion by 2030. Even in the kingdom, we can see a lot of startups are being created using, well, a lot of AI-focused startups are being created, and these startups will open new employment positions, new employment opportunities, which will lead to basically a drop in unemployment rate, and it will also lead to an increase in the contribution of startups and SMEs to the Saudi GDP. So next one would be the oil and gas industry. So the goal is to increase the localization of oil and gas from 40 to 75%, and to move from our current position as the 19th to be in the top 15. And how can we do that? Basically, in the oil and gas industry, there are two main challenges at the moment. One of them would be the loss of the senior level engineers, and there aren't many new engineers interested in joining the oil and gas industry. And this is a well-documented global phenomenon, if you would like to call it. So it is said that 44% of millennials and 62% of Generation Z see the oil and gas industry as unappealing, which leads to a huge gap between the number of engineers and experts in this domain in the previous years and in the coming years, because a lot of these senior engineers would be retiring very soon. And AI can help in that in many ways. So we can automate some of the processes and some of the procedures that could be done by these engineers. We can also capture some of the experience of these senior engineers by creating systems that will use this experience to make decisions and support the oil and gas industry as well. The other problem in the oil and gas industry is the efficiency. Efficiency in oil and gas is a problem, and it is estimated that the return on asset in the oil and gas industry is only at 7.5%, which is very, very low compared to other industries where, basically the oil and gas industry, the problem is that it needs huge investments, and then the return on these investments isn't very high, while other industries could be, then the investment could be very low, but we can get more benefit or more profit out of it. So to increase this efficiency also, AI can be used in AI, robotics, and all these new technologies can be used in increasing the efficiency, having better decision making, and automating a lot of the operation of the oil and gas industry. And also it could help in the maintenance and transportation of the oil and gas industry output, which will lead to basically more productivity in the oil and gas industry. Okay, the next one would be to raise the global ranking in logistics performance index from 49 to 25. And basically in the logistics industry, AI already have been used heavily in that industry, and it is still expanding in the logistics. So AI and robotics have been already implemented and used in the supply chain and in warehouses management. Big data is used and could be used more in making better decisions and optimizing performance of supply chains and logistics. We could use also the computer vision technologies to monitor shipments. Also, it could be used in at the customs and at the borders to monitor the shipments going in and out to increase the security and increase the safety of the country. Autonomous vehicles are one of the potential uses that, one of potential applications that could be used for better logistics and better transportation. And so basically what I'm trying to say here is that the use of AI would be beneficial for the logistics from the start of the supply chain until the end of the supply chain. There are many AI applications that could be used and utilized to have better logistics performance. The next one would be to raise our ranking in e-government, in the e-government survey index. And this is actually straightforward, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time here. So basically, e-government is e-services, and e-services could use AI in providing more personalized service, where the system can understand the customer or the citizen, and then provide the service depends on that person's needs. So AI potentially can help by providing better quality services and more personalized e-government. It also can help in reducing paperwork and improving query response mechanism in e-government. And this will eventually yield to a better rating on the e-government index. In the competitive index, we are aiming to rise from our current position at 25th to the top 10 countries. And I'm pretty sure most of you are already familiar with AI and the big hype around AI and how it is currently being marketed or being publicized as the new space race. Basically, there are many countries trying to invest more in AI, getting more AI services, AI products, and AI startups. And the good thing here is that AI is unlike previous it is being compared to previously in the Cold War, where there was a race for the space war, what they called it back then, and AI is different from that because, well, in AI there is no a winner takes all approach. So in AI, all the countries can contribute. There's still a huge room of improvement. Every day we see new solutions coming from different countries and from different regions. There is no, it's unlike previous competitions where having a lot of experience and a huge infrastructure would give an advantage to one region over another. In AI, the investment, we do need investment, we do need infrastructure, but it's not that costly, and it is not that hard to build, and the race is still going. So it's anyone's game if we can catch up with it. And I believe Saudi Arabia has already started in that domain, and hopefully by the year 2030 we would be one of the leading countries in AI. Other areas where AI could impact, well, basically, I'm going to steal a line that I read in the PwC report. It says that AI is touching every aspect of our life, and it's just the beginning. And I do believe that is very true. AI basically can be included in any aspect in our lives, from healthcare to financial services, retail, manufacturing, transportation, shopping, anything you can think of, media, IT, anything you can think of, AI could be included, and it could be utilized to improve the services and products that are resulting from in that industry. But I'll just give quick examples of these use cases here. So in healthcare, AI could be used in having better diagnosis by being supported using an AI system. Or also it could be used in the imaging diagnostics. It could also be used in early identification of a spread of potential pandemics, using big data, of course, and predictive techniques. In financial services, AI could be used to create more personalized planning, more personalized financial services. It could be used in fraud detection and in automation of many of the current financial services, and making these services available all the time, and they will be faster and easier to implement. In retail, AI could be used in anticipating and predicting demand, so that manufacturers can be ready before that demand happens, and then the goods will be available at the time of need, instead of being reactive and react after the demand happens. And it also can be used in the personalization, because, well, using big data, AI systems can understand the user, can understand their needs, the changes in the user's needs, and then they can give the decision makers better idea of how to create more personalized services and products. And finally, in manufacturing, AI could be used in monitoring processes and monitoring machines, predicting machinery faults before they happen, so that downtime will be shorter. It could be used in predictive maintenance as well, and in optimizing the process and the process of the manufacturing, and making the productivity higher. That would be all for me today. Thank you very much. And if you have any questions, this is the time to ask.
Any questions? Please raise your hand. There.
Hello? Hello. Michael Goggin with Instoa. When you said think about anything that where AI could affect us, one area that I'm really interested in and passionate about is the construction industry. And I was wondering if maybe you had some thoughts on how AI, machine learning, IoT could improve the efficiency of the capital project market.
I'm sorry, I just started hearing you, so I didn't hear the beginning.
Sorry, let me speak slowly. Sorry, I speak too fast sometimes. As far as the industries that could have an impact, one area that I'm really interested in is the construction industry, capital projects, building things. And I was wondering if you had some thoughts on how AI, ML, IoT, these kinds of ideas could help us improve the capital project industry.
Did you say, I'm sorry, are you talking about construction?
Yes.
Okay. Well, in construction, as I know that they are talking about, I think, the fourth revolution of construction at the moment, where new technologies could be used, such as 3D printing and other areas. AI could be used in these, once I think 3D printing is used to create buildings or create houses or whatever, there will be more data generated, and this data could be used by AI to optimize that process and create better solutions. That's one of the potential uses. Another one would be in smart homes, smart house, where you can, when you create houses or create buildings, you create them with some smart sensors, and then use these sensors to optimize the use of energy, use of water, and how to improve or reduce the bill of energy and water, basically. Well, these are two ideas off the top of my head.
Do we have any more questions? There.
As a new governmental body, actually, is it your role will be as governor to have governance for this industry, or you will have kind of partnership and regulations, or what will be the role of your the main role of your organization?
My organization, King Abdulaziz City for Science and Technology, is basically a research and development organization. We do, in our center, the National Center of Artificial Intelligence and Big Data, we create, we research and create prototypes of solutions that are beneficial to the country and to the AI market in general. We focus more on the local market and where AI could be used to serve the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia.
And you will have some kind of partnership with the private sector, or?
I'm sorry, I can't.
You have some partnership with private sector?
We do have partnership with many private sector companies, but mostly we don't play the role of an end customer. We are basically technology enabler in the kingdom. So we partner up with private sector to enable new technologies to basically to other organizations in the kingdom.
Thank you very much.
No worries.
All right, so Dr. Ammar will also be available here. Okay, let's take one last question. Thank you.
السلام عليكم. صباح الخير. شكرا على المحاضرة الجميلة. My question is, do you believe AI can help on genome research, and how?
I'm not very experienced in the genome domain, but I believe that AI could be used in. It is already being used in many genetics research or genetics experiments, and it is. Again, I'm not an expert in genome, but I think the use of big data could help in making better decisions with basically in every domain. I'm not sure if there is big data in the genome domain. I'm not sure what you guys do, but I'll read about it and I'll come back to you at the end of the day with a solution, with an answer.
شكرا لك.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ammar.